He's a hustler, unbreakable, a people's person, and a future billionaire. This is The Hustler's Corner with Sbu Liope, well known to you and I as DJ Sbu.
Hey, what's up guys? DJ Sbu straight out of Johannesburg, South Africa, and welcome to The Hustler's Corner. I'm very excited because I'm interviewing somebody who's a business giant in South Africa, who's very vocal about black ownership and who's encouraging you and I to not be apologetic about the opportunities that we have. And yes, opportunities. As much as the whole world is going through what it's going through with COVID-19, there are lots and lots of opportunities. What I'd like for you guys to do, let's start with the notification gang. Let's go to that sharp sign. I want those clicks on the likes. 1, 2, 3. Click, 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 click. Thank you very much for tuning in. Now I'm excited because Mr. Khandani Msibi is staunch black business. Very unapologetic about it. And yes, he's here to join us today. How are you doing, sir?
Very well, thank you. And
Karen.
good day to all the hustlers.
Yes, sir. For me, it's a platform for hustlers, and it's a platform for the new generation who are, coming up and building their businesses, selling products or building brands. But you are pretty much a business person, as you are known. A lot of people follow you on social media. But I would like to focus on how you came up to become the person that you are. I'd like to know your story. I'm going to take you many years back. Sure. For me, I just want you to relax and just share with us the story as to Khandani Msibi, the state of the country at the time, and I'd like for you to take us through the journey.
Sure, Sbu. It's a very, very long journey. I was born in the Vaal. I grew up in the Vaal. I served an apprenticeship, 2 apprenticeships in the welding and tube making. I'm a tube maker and a welder by trade. 2 trades, finished a diploma in engineering, and then got into management in the early 90s. I was a production foreman at Stuart & Lloyd's, Toza, and became a production foreman for Sun Crush in the Free State. Ran a coke plant for the first time in my life, and then joined the Brystol Myers Squibb. I was appointed by Mafika Mkwana as a packaging manager, and then joined Bromor Foods, where I was a factory manager, operations manager, manufacturer manager. Did quite a lot of things. I built a new factory, was a member of the team that launched Energade. And
Energade is under Tiger Brands, right?
It was before Tiger Brands. At that time, it was owned by Bromor Foods, which was owned by cable shops. In fact, Tiger Brands bought Bromor Foods, which took Energade with.
Okay.
I then joined the ABI again after a short stint with Group 4 Correction Services. Joined ABI as a general manager and a manufacturer manager. I've been to FedEx, Drakenskull, FedEx, in both operations and in sales. Right? So I've got quite a broad experience of different functions at the senior management and at different industries and different organizations. I've studied business management, BTech, and then later on a master's in business leadership. And prior to that, I did a MAP and MDP, MAP at Wits and MDP at UCT. So I've got both technical and commercial education, and both technical as in manufacturing and commercial experience. So I can run a business across all its functions. There are very few functions that I can run, except the specialist functions like finance. But the understanding and the interpretation of financial statements is something that you as a businessman must master. Because at the end of the day, the business is about generating profit, and you can never know how to generate a profit if you don't understand the numbers. So I understand the numbers quite well, even though I'm not an accountant.
That's quite interesting that you're ending up here right now running this very big conglomerate. But I mean, now I'd like to know, learning business, did you intentionally make the decision to want to go study so you can go own and open up a business, or these are programs that you were sent to by the companies you're working for? I want to know when this entrepreneurial bug bit you, because you're an entrepreneur being a part of this black-owned conglomerate.
Yeah. No, look, I mean, entrepreneurship is what you are or what you are not as a person. You can be working for a big organization, you can be entrepreneurial in your approach to things. I mean, companies grow because certain people have become entrepreneurship, and they have an approach to work that creates new things. I mean, the case in point is the conflict between Vodacom and the inventor of Please Call Me. That was entrepreneur within Vodacom. A lot of companies have grown out to provide the services that they were never providing before, and that doesn't just happen. I mean, there has to be people in that organization that are entrepreneurial, that are actually going to pursue opportunities. I mean, for instance, where I am now, I'm an employee of the GSG. Yes, we shareholders, but broadly, I'm an employee. But we are running these businesses in an entrepreneurial fashion, right? In that we grow through organic growth. We also do acquisitions of companies that fit the vision that we have actually developed for the group. So the go-getter spirit, right, is what you have wherever you are. But you learn over time. I mean, I've worked for ABI, as I indicated, and I've learned there that the biggest mistake that you can make in your career is to work for a company where you cannot compete with the employer. And your employer must be scared of you. If your employer is not scared of you, you're in trouble, because when times are tough, you are the first person they're going to get rid of. Because they don't have to be afraid of what you can do to their business. And I think it is one thing that people don't think about. They don't think about what's going to happen when times are tough, right? And I think for a long time in my career, I've always been in the main table, right? And I just think that if you're not in the main table, you're probably going to be sacrificed. And that's where the whole thing about how you look at your career with respect to the future. The future must not be in the hands of other people. Your future must not be in the hands of other people. Their future must be in your hands, right? If you're working for an organization, they must either be scared of you, or you must be in control of key decision processes, or at least be part of the key decision processes. Because nobody's going to make a decision to sacrifice themselves. I mean, the decisions that are made are always about sacrificing others, especially those that are not in the table.
Yeah.
So it's a different way of understanding careers. I mean, if you are young, it's fine that you need an entry, right, and you work yourself up. But there comes a time where your own personal independence must depend on you, because other people will literally serve themselves before they serve you. And because I'm conscious of these things, I try to make sure that in the group we take care of our staff members. But we also tell them that they must start side hustles, so that in the event that things go wrong in the company, they have something to continue with. And I think it is something that I practice myself as well, so that I don't sit with a fear of retrenchment or dismissal or anything of that sort. I need the level of confidence that would make me do things without fear, and be assertive in my engagement with the shareholders or the board, because that strength comes from confidence. If you don't have confidence, you won't have strength. But sometimes the other people might see your strength and your confidence as arrogance, and you start having a problem. And for me, it is important that my self-confidence, or rather my self-esteem, remains high, and that self-esteem is fed by the self-confidence, which is fed by the knowledge that you're covered, right? You are not operating from a position of fear. Many people operate from a position of fear, and too often that undermines their capability in a way that the companies don't even realize that they're actually being destructive in treating employees as children.
If I'm a student right now studying my MAP program, or I'm going through my master's, or let me say MBA, what are some of the things that you'd like to share with those students that are currently studying those programs currently?
The student of my days and the student of today are two different people, right? In a sense that the student of my day had to contend with racist laws and a racist environment, right? Work environment, but an economy that was much more jobs flush than today's economy. So a student of today is confronted with non-racist laws. There's still a lot of apartheid laws, but generally the laws that we interact with on a regular basis are new dispensation laws. But what has not changed is the environment. The environment remains hostile to black kids. And that is why you find that white kids have much better opportunities than black kids. Indian kids have better opportunities than black kids, and I'm talking here African. And yet we have an economy that has been failing to deliver the growth that matches job employment opportunities creation with the population growth. So population growth added to that the emigration of people into South Africa, the immigration of people to South Africa. The population growth has outstripped job opportunities by far. So that student is faced with far less job opportunities. But at the same time, that student has much better prospects of starting a business than the student of my day. Right? In that, difficult as it may be, but there has been significant progress. Organizations like Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, the NEF, the IDC, CEDA, TIA. There's a whole host of organizations that are focused on funding entrepreneurs. And also there is a bias towards youth-owned organizations. So the opportunities are different. Right? The greatest opportunities are entrepreneurial. They are not job-related because the economy is not creating jobs. In fact, it's shedding jobs. Right? And it has been shedding jobs before COVID. And COVID arrived and made a bad situation worse. Right? In that a lot of companies have been shaken to their foundation. There are certain sectors of the economy that are just not going to survive. I mean, the guys that are in property investment, commercial property investment for offices, they are not coming back, not anytime soon. If they ever come back, it will be long after the economy has returned. Because I mean, what's happening is that you look at our group, we employ 1,200 staff members across a number of financial services companies and biotech. And when COVID hit, we then decided that we will depopulate offices. If you remember, the first number was that there should not be more than 180 people. I think 80 was the number when this whole thing started. Yeah. And we decided that we'll depopulate offices, right? We looked at different companies, the insurance business. We said, no, this business can literally work from home, all of it. Right? And we took a decision that you go home. Yeah. And the healthcare business, we were not aware that it can work from home. We decided that the healthcare business will reduce staff members into and decant into the insurance business. And before we know it, they were all working from home. So I think where we are now, at least 60 to 70% of the business is working from home, and we are as productive. Right? So the question is, would we ever lease the same size buildings that we used to before COVID? It's not going to happen, right? And we are not alone, right? Everybody has become accustomed to working from home. Shopping centers, people are now buying online. Things are getting delivered. It was an industry that was struggling to catch in South Africa because people preferred to go touch, taste, and fit things. But now, COVID is forcing people to learn how to shop online, and shopping centers are not coming back in the same way. So. And if you look at that, it runs across. When you talk about shopping center, the disruption is across all sorts of
commercial real estate.
Commercial real estate, but also the tenants of the commercial real estate themselves. They are in trouble in that the feet are not coming through. The new kids on the block are beginning to deliver home, though at home, those that have been setting themselves up to deliver. So the new thing now is the ability to deliver quickly and build a brand that people can trust. So it's a new world. Yeah? The advantage with the change that is taking place is that it is opening up avenues for entrepreneurs,
which is. Sorry to come in there, guys, which is you guys. So this is where I want you guys to pay attention. It opens up an avenue. I bought this cap just now, a few days ago, and I want to give you guys a plug. This is Izinto. So it's a brand that is local clothing. I bought it in Newtown Junction, and I saw a lot of young businesses there. And I'm seeing a lot of businesses pop up through our hashtag, our marketplace on Saturdays. We retweet black-owned businesses. I'll come back to them a little bit later on. So there are opportunities for you guys right now. So as much as it's bad, a lot of you guys are thinking negatively, but you shouldn't. You should be thinking the other way around, which is what Mr. Msibi is about to touch on right now. Bad as it is, it's actually, you flip the coin, on the other side, there's a positive side, right?
It's a great opportunity for black business in that the status quo was a status quo defined in apartheid days. South African, the structure of the South African economy has not changed. It has remained the same structure that oppressed us. The advantages that were derived from our oppression remain. But COVID has shaken the tree, right? Such that in many sectors we can start afresh. We can start afresh in as far as the opportunities presented by these new distribution platforms that are run by young people. We can start afresh in as far as the new ways in which people are beginning to buy local, in a sense that now you can't go to a shopping center, and therefore if you can find your goods and services locally, you'll be able to get them. So there's demand for people are now, in fact, it's almost like COVID has taught consumers to experiment and to do new things, to do things in a different way. And entrepreneurs must jump in and begin to serve that need and begin to engage with those consumers in a manner that reflects the new status quo that is emerging. And I think the for the country, there's a lot of things that this country has done which need to change. Right? COVID has exposed the danger of a reliance on foreign companies for your drugs, your healthcare. Right? It has also exposed the reliance on importation of certain foodstuffs. Now, when you talk about drugs, South Africa imports at least 80% of its pharmaceutical. And we were lucky, because one of my greatest fear with this was that if India and China remained closed much longer, we'd have had a problem in terms of the key drugs that we use in the country. I mean, we import API across all areas of healthcare. I mean, be it ARVs, we do make some here, but we import the majority. The TB drugs, we import the malaria drugs, we import contraceptives are also imported. So as a country, we're now sitting at a point where we have to build the biotech business, and you have a lot of young people who have degrees in chemistry and all sorts of science areas that are unemployed, right? And it's about time that they begin to think about how do they begin to play in the biotech and pharmaceutical space.
A lot of them are afraid. A lot of them hear of the name Big Pharma. People get scared.
Yeah.
They think of regulations. I'm seeing a lot of young guys selling umhlonyane here and there. And I'm happy right now that the conversation is on the table.
Yeah.
Traditional healers as well are excited that the conversation is in the table. Is there space for them really in that space, or this is just talk?
No, there is a space. Sbu. You mentioned traditional healers and herbalists. COVID has done for traditional medicine what no politician could ever do. In the through umhlonyane, which we also package.
Oh yes, you also make umhlonyane.
Yeah.
Youngster,
Yeah.
I want to get my umhlonyane there. Let me get my umhlonyane there. We'll get it later.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'll get it later.
I can pass it to you.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So what COVID has done is that it has brought traditional medicine to the center of international debate, right? Perceived as controversial by others, we see it as a progressive development. Right? Now for these unemployed chemists, right? They have learned the ways of the Westerners in how to synthesize chemicals and how to process and extract active ingredient. It's that time that communities must get together and understand that manufacturing is not hard when you have a market. Right? You have to have a market, and the herbalists have established a market.
A big market.
It's a huge market. It is there now. As a group, we own a company called Ngoma, and there's it's a specialist in a traditional medicine, specialist organization in a traditional medicine.
Yes.
And COVID brought in a number of opportunities with it, right? And like we said, problems but opportunities. We manufactured hand sanitizers, alcohol-based, and now we're manufacturing alcohol-free hand sanitizers, right? Surface sanitizers, and we have alcohol-free hand sanitizers, and then we have umhlonyane. Now, these are the things, the 4 products that we've developed in a crisis, to respond to a crisis.
Yeah.
Now, if you think about young people who are chemists, what stops them from going to herbalist and understand, because the real IP, the real information is with the herbalist and traditional healers. What stops them from going in there and understand what the traditional healers are doing, and what herb is used for what ailment? Because that's a critical information. Right? And you'll be surprised that the pharmaceutical industry has been stealing our IP and the packaging products. Umhlonyane, Artemisia, is in the drug that is used for malaria, and it's seen as a Western drug, but it is using Artemisia as an active pharmaceutical ingredient.
Yeah, because I heard even the Madagascan president, when they asked him about the ingredients of the Madagascan cure, he mentioned Artemisia.
It is. It's the same thing.
I was like, it's the same thing.
There's different strains, right, that deal with the different ailments, right? But what I will tell you now is that the reawakening, which is the revolution, is going to be in traditional medicine, right? Because, and I'll tell you what we're doing as a group, is that traditional medicine where you chew or boil a plant or a stem or leaves of the plant, right? You take it in this raw form. The next part is this level where you extract the nutrients into a liquid and formulate them. There are scientific papers that you relied on in order to develop that product. The next level is to take this thing into pharmaceutical science, where because in there's over 650 compounds, and these compounds can deal with different ailments. Now you need to get to the pharmaceutical part where you can extract specific compounds and then test them against different ailments to develop products that are scientifically tested for specific ailments. So there's and there's hundreds of thousands of plants that can cure many ailments in different areas, right? So that area of the ownership of the IP, right, has become the key determinant, as far as I'm concerned, for the future of the pharmaceutical or the pharmaceutical industry. Because if you listen to a lot of people, everybody now prefer plant-based or herbal products than synthetic products. So it's there. What I'm saying is that we must now have young people who spend time in be it train or bus stations and understand what our people are doing and work with them to bring in the formal science into this, because the core knowledge is with the people, and how do we then begin to leverage that, and that's an opportunity for young people who have studied science to play a role in that area. Start small, work with your friends. The model that I envisage for South Africa is that of India, where you'll have small micro enterprises that are producing goods, right? And you don't have to be a major investor in equipment to start manufacturing.
And what's interesting, I can see you wearing the same mask, right?
Ingoma. Oh yes, Ingoma. Yeah.
So Ingoma has been around since, it says here, 1987.
Yes, we acquired this business. We acquired 100% of Ingoma. I think it was September last year.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we developed this product in the last 3 weeks, and then we're into market.
We're very excited as well, guys. There's
and by the way, we've had some interest from the US and UK for that product.
I'm excited because one of the young men that I'm helping is also selling umhlonyane.
That's it. Yeah.
And he's exporting to the US. He's just started recently.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's an opportunity.
Yeah.
And then he's telling me they want other things.
Of course.
Things that can treat other ailments, which means there's actually even more opportunities in the pharmaceutical space for small players.
I think the young people, Sbu, need to understand that they have an opportunity to recreate this country. Right? It's on its knees.
How do you recreate it, sir?
Sbu, there's no easy ways, except that people need to club together. I'll give an example of a young people that I'm working with, or that I have worked with, or that I'm talking to. There's a woman in Limpopo who is, I think her name is Mary, who is baking bread and delivering it with bicycles.
Yeah.
That that's recreating it.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
It's a young man in Soweto as well who is also making bread and distributing. There's a young man in Limpopo who is mobilizing communities. No, it's actually Mpumalanga. I was surprised that Mpumalanga has avocados. Not avocados, mangoes.
Yeah.
He's mobilizing this community. They bring the mangoes to him. He buys the mangoes and then he packages it and sells the mangoes to those who make acha and also those who want to consume mango. So he's seen that opportunity there. And then there's Mtutuza Matana, who's recreated a factory for ceramic manufacturing. Actually, he's raised it from the dead. That factory was dead factory, and he went there, refurbished, asked to use it, refurbished the machines, and we're supporting him. So we need to have young people doing things.
Yes, sir.
You do things in your own home. Bake bread. Use your mom's stove. Bake bread and sell to neighbors. If you must. I mean, make shoes. There's a lot of young people. You're wearing part two.
Yeah, I'm wearing part two. I'm wearing skinny Sbu socks.
Yeah.
I'm wearing part two.
Yeah.
I'm wearing easy into.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a reawakening that is taking place that we as black people need to support. And I'm talking here, people in my position. We must support young people, not to encourage them to look for jobs. When someone is looking for a job, I'm defeated because I don't know what to do for you. But when someone and the other part is that don't tell me that you have an idea. Tell me what you are doing.
Show me exactly what you're doing.
What you are doing, because if you can't have your mom and your dad and your uncle and your friends support what you want to do, don't expect strangers to support you because we don't know you. We can only know what you do when we see it and say it means that you're doing something and some other people that know you are supporting you. And that's a foundation. I mean, for someone who comes to me and say, I have an idea, it's so easy to write ideas. But the key to this is that do the things that you want to do. I mean, I have an interesting story with a young man called Nico. Nico came to my office. In fact, he didn't have an appointment with me. He heard that his friend was coming to see me, and Nico decided to tag with. Right? And when he came here, Nico showed me. He slipped his idea, and also liked it. Right? And we worked with Nico. Nico now has and he has this Rejoice app and Hot Noise. I don't know if you are aware of Hot Noise.
No, I am
the
not.
One that is on a Telkom. You know, Telkom is a drive in the entertainment section.
Yeah.
Nico's app is the power behind Telkom, with Telkom being the power behind Nico.
Oh wow! I was not aware.
So he went from a young man having invested some money on an app. Showed us how the app works, because you have to show me. I don't believe stories. I want to see evidence. I want to touch the product. I want to see. I want to feel what you are doing. I want to listen to stories. There's no time for stories. So Nico now employs 10 people, has offices in Sandton.
Nice.
It's a great story. Those are the kinds of things that I believe young people must be doing. Because Nico almost anticipated online churches, right? Because one of his products is Rejoice, which is an online church facility. He anticipated this moment, this COVID moment, where people are actually worshiping online. So young people must do something. I mean, you remember Tsepo with the jeans? Yeah. I mean, he's doing it.
It's incredible. P.O. Batu, Tsepo the gin maker.
Yeah, and then there's this young man who Lebuchang with the phone.
The monk.
The monk. That it's and now he's going into airtime. There's stories like that are impressive.
Yes,
right? I mean, there's a woman in Mpumalanga, a young woman in Mpumalanga, who's taking cooking oil and old cooking oil. She's removing it from communities and converting it back into fuel.
Wow.
So there's a lot that is being done by young people. And the thing is that in this revolution, this awakening, we all have a role to play.
Yes.
You are either that entrepreneur, or you are the investor in that entrepreneur, or you are the customer of that entrepreneur. Right? We've got to play a role, all of us.
Talking about young people doing incredible work, I'm actually glad that there's people like you who are participating on social media. I know you pretty much are aware of a lot of them. I am very much active on social media, and I've started a hashtag DJ Sbu, and it's about a year old. I see a lot of great things that all these guys that you've just mentioned, all of them, they advertise their products and brands on that hashtag. Now it makes me think, geez, man, these guys have been working so hard. The hashtag has been growing over the past 12 months, 13 months or so. We started it last year in June, where people just hashtag DJ Sbu and they just promote their products every Saturday. It trends, gets a lot of attention. We've had a lot of positive stories come out of it. And I'm thinking, how do I help these guys? And then I thought I'm going to be sitting with somebody like yourself who's passionate about young people and young businesses. And what I love about you, you're passionate about entrepreneurship. But this COVID-19 has just happened. A lot of them got shut down. A lot of them lost their businesses. What is a company like 360? Are you guys coming up with any ideas to maybe either help these businesses? Because me, I kind of thought, I'm gonna take this conversation and put it on the table and be like, I've got my guys here on this hashtag DJ Sbu, and I would really like for these guys to get some sort of help somehow. Yeah. And I think a company like 360, being a black-owned business, can come up with some sort of an idea to help these guys. And I just want to put that conversation on the table. Is that something that you are willing to look at and say, maybe Smoother, maybe we can help 1 or 2 companies here, maybe we can pick up 3 or 4 or 5 companies there. I know I'm pushing it, but I mean, I'm somebody who's here speaking on their behalf. And I really do think you guys as black leaders in business have got a responsibility to these actual guys that you're talking about, who are not just having ideas, but who are doing. And I'm telling you about guys who are doing. I'll show you the hashtag. Some of the ones that you've just spoken to, they advertise there a lot every weekend as well. Yes. I'd like for you to think about doing something to help these guys during this period somehow, Yeah. And I do know that I'm pushing it. I don't want it to be like this interview, I'm taking advantage of you, I'm gate crashing you.
Yeah.
Some people in the business, and when I say in the business, in the industry, they tend to look at people like us, and I count myself amongst them, as either gate crashers but there's a way in which an entrepreneur operates that somebody in an office like you might not understand the difficulties that we go through. But you understand it because you are from there. Yeah. And when I speak on their behalf, I'd like for somebody like that to look at it. I'd like for you to speak to your team, maybe your board, and look at these guys. Maybe allocate something. I don't know, somehow, some sort of a COVID help for these guys. I think that would be something great for our entrepreneurs.
Yeah. No, Sbu, look, COVID has devastated everybody. That first 21 days of a lockdown, which was subsequently extended, was devastating for businesses, especially if you're small, because the reserves are low, and as soon as you don't earn income, you end up consuming the working capital, right? So
I'm one of those. I've been going through a lot with my businesses. Yeah. It's tough, sir. Yeah. But I'll still represent you guys, even though I'm going through the most. I'm speaking on your behalf here, not for me, but just for these guys,
But ourselves as well, we were not unaffected. But there's nobody who can say, Mina was not affected. We're working hard, we're managing well. We're fortunate we haven't had to retrench or cut anybody's salary. But it can be said that we are not affected. So I think, Sbu, you have a very nice platform of hashtag DJ Sbu that requires that we should think about how do we play a role to ameliorate the situation for some of the entrepreneurs. Yeah, Sbu, look, I follow your I follow you on Twitter, and then also I follow your hashtag. I actually do check it every Saturday and go through businesses. And I might have spoken to some of the people that listed their products there, and I might have used some of them. In fact, it is the place to go to when one is looking for black suppliers.
Yes,
so
sir.
I must give you credit for that.
Thank you.
But I mean, I'm not. I'm a social media user. I'm not a specialist. If you were to sell the hashtag to someone that you are expecting to support what you are doing, what would you say?
I think the first thing I'll say is to be patriotic and speak about being selfishly supporting black-owned businesses. I'm one of their own. That's why I'm even wearing my black-owned businesses. You can see it's from Mofaya to Sbu to Patu to Izinto, and just seeing I'm actually.
By the way, we've helped the Sbu as well.
Oh, is it?
In the past, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when you made noise about his 5 million that he needed. And thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't go unnoticed, your love and passion for black business as a group. It really means a lot. But how to sell the hashtag is just to say we're passionate about our own. We're promoting these youngsters to start their own brands, to grow their own businesses, to have side hustles, because some of them are 9 to 5. We're saying to them, every family should be having a black-owned business. That's a narrative we promote. I don't give anybody a job. Anybody that comes to me, I always encourage you. I can show you how to go sell and make money, but I can't employ you. You can employ yourself through my products, and you can go sell and make money, because they've got the energy, they've got the time, they've got the brains, they are smarter, they are wiser, they're living around this time right now of the digital age. So they exist on that hashtag. And these are all sorts of different type of businesses, from agriculture to manufacturing to products, brands being sold. And it really, really impresses me. What I can say, Mina, is I can speak as much as I can speak, but the proof is always in the pudding. If you can go to the hashtag, see the businesses, I guarantee you'll be really impressed on what young people out there are doing. I'm glad that there's somebody like you who does take a peek and take a look at it. Because a lot of them always say, Sbu, money, they're not on social media. And those are the people we want help from.
Sure.
So seeing that, at least I've got an opportunity to sit with you, and I'm inviting you to take a look at it. I mean, it doesn't hurt even if it's some sort of a stipend that you guys maybe can speak of and say, we can look at the 5 best businesses on this hashtag, and maybe we think, because the 5,000 rands goes a long way for any business, any small business. You know, whether I'm selling cookies, whether I'm selling I'm selling bread, I'm selling my own juice, or I'm selling t-shirts, hoodies. They're selling all sorts of things there. But it's not just the normal things that you know, like the t-shirts and the hoodies and the caps, etc. These guys are actually more brilliant. There's more businesses there where you'll be actually shocked.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Have you had a webinar with your followers?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. Not yet.
About that. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you know, God, let me make a few calls there. I need to talk to a few people about what I'm thinking, so that when I commit them, at least I have their consent.
Okay, that makes sense. For me, that's what I like. Sitting with people that can make decisions, with other people who can make decisions on the day. Not that we put you on the spot because there's cameras. I actually learned something from Uzola. Uzola used to say to me, "Sbuda nangena ngama camera izinto zayenzeka," as opposed to nangena ngiwani.
Yeah.
So without having to put you under pressure, sir, I appreciate that you're gonna make an effort to go speak to your team, and let's hear what they say. Even if it's just one business, I'll be very happy.
Okay, Sbu. I've just spoken to my team. I think we want to do something meaningful for a meaningful period of time. I think maybe for 10 weeks or so. 10 weeks or so. 10 weeks, okay. 10 weeks if we can run a program.
Okay.
Whereby we choose a business, and the entrepreneurs as well, they choose a business, and those 2 businesses become the winners. And then we could fund.
So you're gonna fund 2 businesses?
2 businesses. We'll give them each 20,000 rands.
Yo.
For a period of 10 weeks. coming from the different brands. It won't just be 360 Life. It will be 360 Health as well. It will be Salt employee benefits. I think we'll look at how we create a mix that when we say to you, every week we'll tell you which organization is actually sponsoring the price.
Let me get it correct. So you're saying for 10 weeks, you and your team are committing to help 2 businesses per Saturday for 10 weeks?
For 10 weeks, yeah.
So 2 businesses per Saturday for 10 weeks, that's 20 businesses?
Yes. It's 20 businesses that will each get a once-off 20,000 rands.
20,000 each?
From us, yeah.
Wow, guys, I didn't expect this.
So it's about 400,000 rands that we'll put in towards this program.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We're really humbled. We appreciate it. So this means that you're committing to be helping out 2 businesses per Saturday for a period of 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's 20 businesses in total that are each going to receive 20,000.
Yeah.
If there was no COVID-19, I'd be shaking your hand by now. That's incredible.
Wow,
but I mean,
yeah.
Wow. I didn't expect that. I'm happy.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'm happy on your behalf, guys. Now, how is it going to work is, okay, we'll discuss how it's going to work.
We'll discuss the details. Yeah, we'll discuss the details. I think you'll discuss them with the ladies at Run Marketing.
Okay, that's great news. Now I'm excited about the small businesses. The last part of the interview, sir, you joined this group and you guys have done very well as a black-owned businesses. One of the campaigns that I was a part of, I think it was sometime last year, was a business that's also, I think, a part of this group, which was started by 39 black doctors, which I didn't know. Sbu Medical Fund, I didn't know it was started by black doctors.
Yeah.
Because I think there's this myth in society that says black people can't start and run a business together for many years. And you guys have done it for all these years. I'd like for you to maybe break down the structure of this business, some of the businesses that you guys are owning, and what makes you guys do so well. And I do know that I don't want to focus on what has been in the public eye about having joined the team and all of you guys turned the business around. But I want to focus on the blackness of your business, which is I'm unapologetic about helping black businesses and being a part of that community. But you guys are our leaders and we're looking up to you. I'd like for you to break it down on how you guys were able to do that.
Yeah. Look, I mean, the Sbu Medical Fund is a medical aid administered in terms of the Medical Schemes Act.
Okay.
It's run by members with the administrator of Sbu Medical Fund through 360 Health. Right now, 360 Health and Sbu Medical Fund were founded by these black doctors and businessmen. There was one white guy. I think it's Dr. Wits, who was a part of that group in 1978.
Wow.
Dr. Wits was doing the opposite of what BEE guys do, black guys do in the BEE, where they are the tokens. So Wits was a token. His role was to engage the apartheid government on behalf of these entrepreneurs. In those days, when it was 1978, black people were not even allowed to open a company bank account. Right? That's how petty the system was. Right? The Medical Schemes Act defined a member of a medical aid as a white person in employment, right? Which means that if you're black, you cannot be a member of medical aid. And Lords was used to lobby the then government of I think PW both in those days, if I'm correct, to change the law to say the member of a medical aid is a person in employment. That's how black people got to be in medical aid. It was the founders of Sbu Medical Fund that actually used their laws to lobby the National Party to change the legislation. Right? So Sbu has been around with 360 Health. In the past, it also was called Sbu Medical Services. It became Sichaba. Now it is a 360 Health and is administrator of a Sbu Medical Fund. It is the biggest black medical scheme in the country, and the oldest by far and undisputed It's been around for just about 45 years now. It's a big organization. The scheme has a contributions of over 2.4 billion rands, and it's got reserves of just under 1 billion rands. So it's a very successful medical scheme, and we are in healthcare through that business, or we entered healthcare through that business, and now we're venturing into biotech, which is pharmaceuticals, and hence you see that product. But there's a lot that we're doing in a biotech that will define this business in the future.
Wow, that is incredible. And what's the future looking like?
For us, we are in the future, we are a global business with a significant presence in the continent of Africa. We're almost in every country, and I'm talking in the future tense, with offices in the major centers of the world. As it is, we have partnerships in Russia, in the US, in India, and Europe. So the international partnership is actually growing at a very fast pace. The local partnership as well with the CSIR, will be making some groundbreaking announcement with the CSIR very soon. We have a Totom as well, and a number of other companies that we cooperate with. I think for us, I would say that 360 is what we've been creating in 360. We've been creating a platform. A platform is for plug and play. That you come in with your things and you can sit on our platform and you play. That's who we are. We want to be the business that connects with other black businesses for the creation of mutual value. And that platform is there. If you look at 360 Health, right? We believe that black brokers must begin to think about underwriting with us. We must have that conversation, the underwriting conversation in insurance, because you create a platform for wealth creation, and also in the medical aid, that the black brokers must begin to engage with CISO and help us grow CISO Medical Fund. In SALT as well, these black consultants can engage with SALT. We've used Doves. We've made an example with Doves in that we franchised half of Doves to other operators and created entrepreneurs and enhanced the business of other entrepreneurs. In biotech, we've seen how this thing works. Right? We believe that in the next 10 years or so, we can help create another 100 black businesses in biotech, because we're launching products, Sbu, like it's going out of fashion. We have a campaign that starts in September on the women's health products. The Ngoma products, we have over 100 products across a number of areas. Women's health, soap, beauty, a bit of a significant part of a health, general health products. And these products themselves, even in Mkhonyana, one of the programs that I've asked the CEO to look at is to create a distribution companies with young people in the township, that if you can buy bottles of Mkhonyana for 500 rands or 1,000 rands and you go and sell, you make your money. The product is in demand. There is no question about it. So, and then on top of that, then you can start adding our other products like Umuti Wenyongo, Amadle Pubes, and so forth. So we're about change. We're not about the status quo. And we're about change in sectors we operate in. we're about change in sectors that we're not even operating in. We meet people from all sorts of sectors and we give them advice. So our group is a group that is growing at a staggering pace, but we don't want to be the only ones. We're very generous. We share ideas, we share contacts, and at times we share money when we have it. And not only company money, I share my own family money as well with a lot of young people that are doing things that impress me. So we want to see black people blossom and thrive. We know that it is possible, and I know that there is no obstacle. And people will tell you that there are obstacles. Such things don't exist. All obstacles are in people's minds. They are not in the real world. I've run this business and started some of the businesses in the toughest environment. And my people have come in and said, but we're being opposed here. And I said, no, if they oppose you this side, go next door and do something magnificent next door, so that the guys that opposed you come back to you and they want what you've done next door. So for young people, I wish, Spoon, I was telling my son that I wish I was in his position, being young and with all of these opportunities, but at the same time I had me for a dad. Because the things that I'm teaching him, no one taught him. So I think you guys are lucky. You may think that you are in a bad situation because you don't have jobs. I tell you what, I would have thrived better in your environment. In your environment, even education was hard. To get educated. I remember I grew up in the Vals, Val University of Technology today. Valtech. Used to be Valtech. Yeah. It was white. Sure. There's one guy, Kekana Mukwena, who was the first black guy to study at Valtech. And we all knew him, the whole township. We knew that guy, and he used to walk around with books this big. So, but your days today, VUT is full of black people. TUT is full of black people. And you can study through correspondence. You can study through YouTube. We never had YouTube. You never had a Facebook. The kind of platforms that exist today, nobody has an excuse. We have a woman who we now appointed as a CEO of the crematorium business. We have a crematorium business. She came from marketing. She self-taught the operations of the crematorium through YouTube, to the point that she was educating all of us about how this thing works. And she's not an engineer.
Through YouTube videos.
You don't have, you guys don't have hurdles. The hurdles are in your heads. Remove the hurdles in your heads, have the will to succeed. The opportunities are staggering. We have the lowest interest rates now in a long time. I'm going to check the interest rate graph. You'll find that the last time that we had such interest rates, I was not even born. And I've lived through high interest rates. I've lived through 25% prime. Prime is less than 4 today, which means that the opportunity exists. I know that it's hard for entrepreneurs to find money, but there's avenues to get the money, because money has become cheap these days, and it's in your days, it's not in my days. And that's why as Sbu, I'm almost like at a point where I'm living my future. My future is advising young people about businesses. It's about sharing my experiences. Because I've had rich experience, of running manufacturing plants, building manufacturing plants, running sales divisions in companies, and building companies. So I've gone through a process whereby somebody paid the school fees for my lessons. Because when you go through that, you make a lot of mistakes, but somebody pays, right? And when we talk about experience, we mean that someone that knows what works and what doesn't work. Right? And I know what works and I know what doesn't work. I can tell you when I see a business, if it's got a chance of success or not. And I think you guys need to get in there, allow yourself to fail, and when you fail, start again, because it's not the end of the world. And also remember, we come from an era where life expectancy was in the 60s. You guys are gonna live till you're 120, provided you don't abuse alcohol and you eat healthy and you exercise. But medical technology is there, where you have enough time to make your mistakes, and the earlier you start doing things, so that in the event that you fail, you can start again, the better it is for you. And I can only wish you the best of luck, and just know that I'm very envious of you and what you have before yourselves.
This is the best interview I've had on the Hustlers Corner, not only because he's giving you guys money. Nobody has ever come to sit down for an hour's interview and end up giving you guys 500,000 rands. And on a decision where he's putting himself on the line to speak to his shareholders. But I think we appreciate that. I think young people also can see the role that you're playing on social media, especially on Twitter, and just your assertiveness and just being staunch black ownership, and just the narrative that you're pushing, and just being that loud voice. Not only with that loud voice, but also putting your money where your mouth is quite great. We're excited, by the way, guys, in case you've just tuned in, welcome to the Hustlers Corner. We've been speaking to Mr. Khandani Msibi. We're wrapping up the interview. He has just said him and all the other leaders of his organization are going to contribute 400,000. That is to 20 businesses on the hashtag DJ Sbu on Saturday. So that's going to happen over a period of 10 weeks. They're going to be giving away 20,000 rands each business. So that's, I'll tell you guys the mechanics on how it's going to happen, but I'm very excited. Make sure that you stay tuned, but I'd like to say thank you very much for the role you play. You continue to play for black business. I think history will judge you guys fairly as a group and what you've done for black business in this country. And thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much, Sbu.
Mr. Khandani Msibi, go Google him, go check out his work and find out some of the things that he's been able to do, and go follow him on Twitter as well and find out the type of voice that he is and how much he's representing you and I out there. So click on the like button, share, subscribe, let your friends know about the Hustlers Corner, and make sure that you share this interview so all the other entrepreneurs out there, the hustlers, get to know about this 10-week opportunity of them getting to win themselves 20,000 rands per business, and that is for 20 businesses. That's incredible, and I'm excited. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.